one sheriff's deputy. The other 12, probably mostly college students. The other 11, rather, probably mostly college students at the establishment off of the 101 highway in Thousand Oaks, California, north of Los Angeles. And the psychotic killer is dead as well. Not clear whether the psychotic killer shot himself and killed himself or whether he was killed by the police. Also, apparently 10 or 12 wounded, injured, various types of injuries in the attack. Second biggest story, very recent story. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been hospitalized. Now, the initial reports that came out were quite sketchy. We have some more details. Now, the 85-year-old Ruth Bader Ginsburg, hero of the liberal left on the Supreme Court, apparently fell in her office last night, injured herself, went home, didn't think it was too bad. She's a trooper, and this morning decided that the discomfort was severe enough that she should go to the hospital. She did go to the George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C., and she was being treated for 3 fractured ribs, and I'm sure they're monitoring the frail 85-year-old Ruth Bader Ginsburg very closely. I wish her the best. I wish her a full recovery. And if she should decide to retire soon and spend the next 20 or 30 years in happy retirement, that would be fine with me as well. But I wish her no ill, of course. I wish her nothing but the best. People that know her love her. Justice Scalia loved her. They were big opera fans together, and he called her Ruthie, and liked her very much. So they could be friends, and then the farmer and the cowman can be friends too. We can all be friends, can't we? Except the left, of course, because they can't be friends with anyone. No one, nobody. And gosh, Sessions was ordered to resign yesterday as Attorney General. We have a new Attorney General, and that's Matthew Whitaker as acting Attorney General, and that's a big deal. So there are lots of things going on. The attack at Tucker Carlson's house really got me riled up this morning by these lefties who are racist with a fascist group, and they attacked the front door of his house and cracked the substantial wooden front door of his house because some little psychotic was throwing himself against the house and damaged the front door, terrorizing Tucker Carlson's wife inside, 4 kids, not there at the time, I guess, fortunately. And I guess it's fortunate that Tucker Carlson's wife didn't open fire through the front door and kill these little expletive-deleted SOBs. But they're driving the country to very bad places. They keep confronting and harassing and threatening and menacing and posting home addresses. They call it doxing. They get your documents doxed, you see, and post them online in the hope that other leftists will menace and threaten your family and maybe become the next James Hodgkinson. Now, with that said, let me go to the phones because we have a very interesting caller on the line. And I would like to go to our very interesting caller on the line. All right, let's go to line 1. Let's go to Doug in Washington, D.C. Doug, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris, how are you? Great show.
I'm great, thanks, Doug.
Hey, just here and listening to the conversation this morning, actually reading that article. Who mentioned one big piece of...
Now, what can you tell me? Were you involved in any way in this?
Involved? Not involved, no.
Present in any way? For any portion?
Yeah, I was present, but I'm from the law enforcement side of things, not from the anarchist side of things.
Okay, so you were a law enforcement official, and you were at Tucker Carlson's house last night after this event, or during this event?
Yes.
Okay, was it during that you arrived?
I don't want to say either way.
Okay, well, tell me what you can tell me.
Well, I just one of the big pieces of information was revealed that he spray painted his driveway with one of the base anarchy signs. Like the pentagram kind of thing, but it was the A with the silver through it.
Yeah, it's the state worshiping swastika today, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't see that mentioned anywhere in the chart either. Just speaking about the type of the Democratic Party, but I just thought it was interesting. I left out that big piece of information which actually makes it a hate crime. So.
Oh, it does. Is that right? Yeah. Because there's political, it makes it because it's politically motivated, and the anarchist symbol spray painted on his property, on his driveway, is clear-cut evidence of that.
Yes, that's true.
All right, and the front door, I'm told, was damaged by one of the psychotics throwing his body against it, like them clawing at the front door of the Supreme Court or one of those psychotics. But did you see the damage to the front door?
That wasn't made aware. I don't know if that was discovered at some point later, but we watched the video before they took it down. There was about a 1 minute and 7-second video of them banging on the door. And you could hear them, obviously they were banging on it really, really hard, and you could hear it on the video that they made. You don't forget what they're saying in the driveway, too, in the video. But, I don't think they realized that until some point later.
The damage to the door. But it's clearly there in the Washington Post article that is now online this morning. So you are, now I don't want you to say anything you're not comfortable saying, but you're a law enforcement officer. You were called to the scene where there is still, I'll call them protesters there when you arrived?
They weren't there when I arrived, but other officers encountered them when they got to the scene.
Okay. Now, why weren't these people arrested?
Well, we had made a determination of what was going on, and there was obviously a large crowd. So the primary considerations for the call, like the person called 911 to check on their status, and once the officers went and did that, there was the protesters had dispersed. And there were no names, are there any of the people visible in the video that was then taken down? I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay. Is there, and I know you're not speaking officially and all of that, is there an ongoing investigation?
I think that's safe to say, yes.
Yeah, and I think Tucker Carlson is planning on pressing this with the D.C. police and trying to, he said he's not going to sit still for them and allow this to happen. Now, what kind of crimes, if this were my home, for example, there's vandalism, right? Destruction of property. Is there...
Yeah, defacing private property is the legal, technical law that was broken.
What about the throwing yourself against the door of the house in what might appear, the door could have busted open, and at that point, the person busting the door open could legally be shot dead by the homeowner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that pertains to destruction of property. If they cracked the door, they committed a destruction crime as well. So I wasn't aware that that's actually been contained in the report, the initial investigation. But I just thought it was interesting, because it clearly, they advertised themselves as who they are and what they were there for with the spray painting that they did, which was conveniently left out of the article.
Right, which is conveniently left out of the article. It's the Washington Post. Hey, can you help me out? Can you get Allison Chu's home address for me? Just kidding. I'm only kidding. Allison Chu's a typist at the Washington Post that wrote the story up. And she's not very enthusiastic about writing the story. I think maybe we should just post Allison Chu's home address on certain websites and see if Allison thinks it's just a protest.
So, I think the bright side of this thing is they've got a lot of backlash on Twitter, which is why they took down the major elements of the video that they took, which contained all the nonsense, so it just left up with 7 seconds of propaganda that, kind of spoke to their cause.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of backlash on Twitter, and
I don't think backlash on Twitter is enough. I think when you scare up mobs, when you have 20 people, that's a mob. It's a political mob. They're violent. They attack the house. They're political. They spray painted their psychotic new neo-Nazi symbol, this anarchist symbol, and they're the biggest fascists in the political conversation today. And I don't think, maybe it's me, I'm a little old school, Doug, but I don't think backlash on Twitter is just desserts for what these people are doing.
Well, no. It's not. Like I said, even as everything with the political climate, we have to kind of remain a little bit neutral. But in these situations, we have to go after this like we would regardless of anybody's political affiliation. So,
Yeah. Well, if I'm remembering correctly, Doug, we had these anarchist expletives deleted here on Inauguration Day, and they rioted and burned the limo and smashed out storefronts and attacked people and beat them the night before and the day of. And then they got into court, and if I'm not mistaken, here in D.C., we dropped all charges against every one of them. Is that true?
Well, yeah, I think after that, I think they had about maybe 6 failed attempts at guilty verdicts or trials, and then after that, they decided to go ahead and dismiss the charges of the other rioters.
So nobody was found guilty of anything from the Inauguration Day riots and the torching of the limousine belonged to a nice immigrant Muslim man trying to make his way in America, and these left-wing psychotics burned his $80,000 limo, smashed out storefronts, and no one was held to account in any way in D.C., right? Because we don't really have normal judicial system here. We've got lefty juries and lefty defense and lefty prosecutors in many cases, and now I'm going off on a jag here and dragging you into it, but you know, they let all these people go. There's videotape of them committing these felonies, and we let them all go. And to me, that means you're going to get more of this. You got a caravan coming up, you let them all in, you're going to get more caravans. We've already let caravans in, we're getting more caravans. We allow these people to do what they did on Inauguration Day with no consequences, and you're going to get more of this. You allow them to go to Tucker Carlson's house and do this stuff to harass Ted Cruz, a U.S. senator, and you know what do you think you're going to get? You're going to get more of it. Forget about that whole civility thing. I'm going up on a rant here, I know, but you know, you get this whole civility thing from the Democrat Party's leadership and from our just disgustingly corrupt news media. Their filthy abandonment of journalism, and we're going to get more and more of this, and bad things are going to happen. I can feel it in my bones.
I think they did get a few, I don't know, I want to say the exact numbers, but they got the guilty pleas out of the riots that happened during inauguration. I don't remember the exact number. I think it was a low number, enough to the single digits of people that they had red-handed. They did get some initial guilty pleas, and the rest went to trial. But as far as the city goes and its lenient judicial system, I will say that the people that I work with that are parole and probation office who deal with criminals, and some of the guys that work in other parts of the country say this is the best place in the country to be a criminal, Washington, D.C., in terms of its leniency on crime.
Yeah.
I think without a criminal record, the sentencing guidelines for murder are 12 years. If you don't have a criminal record, you commit murder.
Oh, so you probably do 7. Get out after 7.
Correct.
Yeah, there you go.
Correct. Yeah.
Doug, hey, listen, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate it very much. We learned another fun fact, and the Washington Post has a couple of things. Tucker Carlson talking to them, and these are raw. We listen, Doug. I'm saluting you.
Hey, I appreciate it all. I appreciate you deal with this every day. I can go do something else. Hammer away 5 days a week. Could you put me back on the call, please? I want to throw a couple more tidbits at it real quick.
Yeah, sure, you bet. Let's put Doug back on hold, and let's talk to you, Victor. Then you got to pick up what's over there. She's hoping too. Very nicely phrased. Listen, I've got Jim Acosta audio to get to from the so-called White House press briefing yesterday. It was a disgrace to Western civilization. And Jim Acosta is too, and to journalism, if such a thing exists. I mean, people, they don't even know the basic words in the English language. They don't know basic English. And they work for the New York Times and the Peninsula Broadcasting System and the Yamichi Al-Kindor. Does nationalist mean white nationalist? Why don't you see if you can buy a clue? How about that? Maybe, here, I'll buy you a dictionary. They got one online. Do you have access to the internet? Go ahead and look that up. Because, the meanings of words are going to be important if you're going to continue to pretend to be a journalist. Hey, do you have a balance on your credit cards and a higher interest rate than you'd like? I bet you do. Why not turn those balances into one monthly payment at a lower fixed rate? Huh? How about that? And start saving money. Lightstream offers credit card consolidation loans from 6.14% APR with auto pay. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000 and get your funds as soon as the day that you apply. Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve great interest rates and no fees. Plus, at Lightstream, they're in the division of SunTrust Bank, one of the nation's largest financial institutions, so they're not going anywhere. My listeners can also save even more with an additional interest rate discount on top of Lightstream's already low rates. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/plant. That's lightstream.com/plant. Subject to credit approval, the rate includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/plant for more information. I have an update on the gunman in Southern California. He has been identified. I will have that for you in just a moment.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
If you're like most people and you see two gas stations and one sells gas for a little less, you go to that one. It makes sense. Every little bit helps. But here's what's weird, though. Sometimes we save a few cents here and there and ignore opportunities to save huge money, life-changing money. If you switch to Medishare for your health care, it could be a massive savings. The typical savings for a family is $500 a month. Think about what you could do with that. Over time, just do the math. That's $6,000 a year. That's real money. And yes, people love it, and they love it because it works. It's believers who share each other's health care costs. More than 400,000 people are now members of Medishare, and it's growing like crazy. Find out how much you could save and why Medishare is so popular. Just go to Medishare.com or call 855-40-BIBLE. That's 855-40-BIBLE. Medishare.com or 855-40-BIBLE.
If you or somebody you know is struggling with addiction, please call this toll-free number right now. 800-390-9528. That's 800-390-9528. By calling your addiction team, you're taking the first step to recovery. The help you need to be one call away. 800-390-9528. Make the free call now. 800-390-9528. More addiction on the third-party advertising for Very Free Presentation Network. And for local Very. Visit yourmachine.com/terms for more information.
This is John Cena, and it's much cheaper saving from coffee, tea, or smoking. Power Slide is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 good sliding seats, and in 7 days, 6 shirts. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in the house for an hour. Just wash your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. Just buy Power Slide. Call 1-800-669-6969. Your bright smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. It's 1-800-679-0969. The following is not an actor, a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My story begins with debt, a lot of debt, credit card debt, and I heard a commercial for Trinity. I gave them a call.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-383-0687.
When I first called, I was a little embarrassed and kind of ashamed, and I looked at the numbers, and I saw how quickly that astronomical debt that was in my life would go away.
Trinity will consolidate your account. Reduce your interest and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
What I would tell other people, please pick up the phone and call Trinity. Just let them put together a program and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt.
Call Trinity at 1-800-383-0687. That's 1-800-383-0687.
We're talking with Emmanuel Hideki, the mortgage expert from United Mortgage. Tell me about your program.
There are many new products announced now. Home buyers getting into homes with extremely low down payment.
Wow, so you're saying you can own a home with very little down payment?
Yes, to top that, we have down payment assistance programs with extremely flexible credit requirements. And now you may be able to get into a home with little or no credit at all.
What about those who had issues qualifying for a new home in the past?
Well, we have so many more products like that. If you had issues qualifying because of the way you did your income, we may not even require your tax returns to qualify. So as you can see, we have many more products for just about everybody.
Well, are you saying you do not have to go through all that red tape with your income? You may be able taken. I don't take any medicine. I take nothing. If I get a little besides the pill, even a headache, I take the vegetables. It works very fast. Or I'm feeling like a little down, tired, I take 3 of them, 4 of them, and I'm right up back to where I was. It's unreal how this stuff works. And I rave about it. This guy's a genius when it comes down to it. If anyone's skeptical about taking something, I get it. There's thousands of products out there. But you can be confident in this because the one thing that makes me really, really happy about is that you guys make a capsule out of a plant-based product. It's not crap. It's real food. Like you would put on the dinner table.
For a limited time, use discount code WABC, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code WABC.
Well, on social media, Twitter at 77 WABC Radio. Facebook, like 77 WABC.
I did just get a text from another law enforcement friend of mine, a federal law enforcement friend saying, "Happy Hillary is never going to be President Day." The great thing about Hillary's never going to be President Day is it's every day. You can be happy with that every single day. That is a happy thing. On an unhappy note, the law enforcement authorities in Southern California have identified the murderer in last night's latest mass murder. And he was 28-year-old Ian David Long. The Ventura County Sheriff Jeff